Well, and this one here is like was the one of Angelina eating some fruit. Normally, this could look like really tacky and hokey, you know, like a fruit shot, but it she's just so amazing like that she carries it off and she does it in kind of a natural way where it really looks good. And there's a couple of shots here that just work on a lot of different levels that I think can make some great prints. Finding that right moment, or just when I'm actually shooting, I feel it when I had that. You can just tell, like, it when you've got the picture. There's something about, like, the light hits it. There's a photo of Heather Graham I did in the Ambassador Hotel in Los Angeles, and it was just that moment when the light came through the window, and there was just that beautiful green velvet on the bed in this room where Charlie Chaplin used to live, and it was just instant. I said, boom, that's the shot. I knew it. I love shooting people. In my day job, I'm shooting clothes and I'm shooting, which are also beautiful because I love fashion and, beauty and things. But there's just something so pure and it's timeless. I just find the nude form as being the most pure, simple form of, well, the human body. Well, this was an interesting picture. We were around Yellowstone in Wyoming and Montana. I was out there and I had a very beautiful female assistant with me, and I said, would you like to do some nudes? She said, sure. So I knew that, like, we had to get an airplane later that day, but we drove down to Yellowstone Park, and they had actually that's the year that they had all those fires there. And it's also a national park. You're not supposed to shoot nudes in national parks. Oops, are we gonna get arrested? Am I gonna get arrested for this? Okay. Anyway, so we snuck in, and we were this amazing charred forest. We covered her with charcoal from all the fire and had her running and doing all these like poses and stuff through the burned out forest. We photographed in the hot springs and the steam rising, this beautiful light coming through. It was just, a very magical place. But again, it was like, I was on an assignment. I had this beautiful assistant with me, seizing that moment to do something, where I was, carpe diem, whatever, seizing the moment, doing that shoot, and then getting back on the plane. I think the one thing I got was that for him, it really didn't matter like what magazine you were working for per se, as long as someone allowed you to do your images and hopefully they were paying you or paying your expenses, then just shoot for it. Try to really fight for an idea, fight for just getting that right picture published. Like, try not to just cower down, to fight what you believe in and really have an image, and not care what people think. Is that in here, Alexis? The stuff of pink? The older stuff?
Yeah, there's 2 shots in the back.
This is something, again, I'd done this stuff for the magazine, and this was her boyfriend at the time, Corey, was there. And went outside and I said, he is so cool looking, much cooler than her. And we just started shooting stuff by his pickup truck. It was totally like, the magazine, like, looking at their watches and like, come on, we got to get this stuff inside. But they ended up using these in the magazine. So again, that's kind of pushing, again, for that, what we were talking about earlier. I remember like shooting in fashion. In fact, people would shoot a lot of 35 millimeter with 36 exposures. And you would work with these models, say, on a fashion catalog shoot. And these girls would know that there were 36 poses. With celebrities, you get in there and you have, like, say the magazine or your client has certain ideas and certain setups. I'll go in there and do that, but then I'll have a lot of other lights kind of set up in corners, and like in another room, or even out, I'll be constantly walking around looking at kind of other places. And sometimes I'll just take them very quickly, like somewhere before anyone even has time to think twice, like a publicist or grabs it, said, let me just try something really quick. I remember once I was photographing Jack Nicholson for Entertainment Weekly. We got all the shots, and he was just sitting there. He was smoking these Camels. I go, Jack Nicholson's just sitting here. So I just grabbed him. I had a light set up in the corner, and I just photographed him very close up with this one light and a little bit of a backlight, with this smoke blowing out of his cigarette. And he had this big, shit-eating grin on his face. And it was just like, it became like an iconic shot. It was one roll, and that was it. When I'm shooting my own work, basically I'm the client. I I don't really have to answer to anybody. It's totally my idea. I'm doing a picture just for myself. There's not an art director, there's not a photo editor, there's no publicist. You know, the buck stops here with me. And I think I'm my harshest critic, you know, so I'm trying to please myself and do something interesting. But that's the main thing. It's just totally something I want to do, not with no, you know, agenda other than my own.